Hey guys, it's Kramer. So whenever you're wrangling your gun against a disguised spy, I typically just use the rockets, because the bullets hit rate is really bad on disguised spies, and it also just means that there's consistent damage with the rockets. And whenever the enemy push in, you definitely want to just equip your wrangler anyway. It gives your sentry that buff of the damage loss, and it's just so much better. And then even if it's not shooting anyone, it has to take more damage to take it down. And then once they aren't looking, you can shoot them down. The Rescue Ranger combo is fantastic for this. You can separate yourself from your sentry. Remember that you're not just you're not really a slow class. You can use the Wrangler to jump up and get amazing positions like this. Like it's not something to be forgotten. It can really open up doors for you and get picks that would just be impossible without it. Of course, when you make a escape with it as well, you can use the Rescue Ranger to actually fly away and then pick your gun up in midair. If you have teammates around you in protection, this is actually a pretty good strat. There's no way you'll get caught out of the air. You can also use dispensers to block staircases. This is the case in Badwater and Upward, and one in Swiftwater as well. It's amazing because it just means the spy is rendered helpless and can't set up slap your sentry. Whenever you're fighting people, try and separate yourself from your mini sentry. It just means they have to choose between who to shoot, and often it just confuses opponents and you can get the upper hand. You never really want to pick a fair 1v1. You always want to have some advantage or another, whether it is your mini sentry or knowing where the person will be. I know who will be here, so I can get a quick shot and I can take him down easily. So right now we haven't used yet, but my gun's down. I'm kind of trapped in here. Now this kind of does two things, because what it means is that it's stalling them and buying us more time for the point, but it also means that I can't set up on another point. So it's kind of win and lose. Try and choose the moments that you do this, because it can be good and bad. Now at this point I'm trapped and I'm just trying to make the best of this. So I'm given lemons and I make lemonade. I actually get them out in the Nations Cup game. Try and work with your teammates, comp to them about damage you do. If your team can call health like a spy can, you can actually get so many more picks. Try and work together and kind of create a mini team on the flank. You know, when one person's getting shot at by two people, they need to make a decision to who to shoot at, and that just is a great situation for you and your teammates. And your teammates, of course, can just follow on your damage if you can't finish the pick. When you're defending last, there's different types of guns, like sentry guns. There's sentry guns that defend a point, as in deny area and restrict where enemies can go. And then there's guns that kill people, that actually shoot, you know. And Upward Last, for example, on the balcony is a kill gun, and when you're doing that, I try and wrangle as little as possible, just because my wrangler aim will never be as good as the auto aim. So it's just best to let it shoot itself, and that's why people use the Rescue Ranger, so that you can, you know, from a distance you can heal it and let it shoot people. But when you're going to move your gun, try and do it when there's a distraction. Like if your team go forward to an Uber, try and do it like then, or just tell your teammate, you know, to overextend for 30 seconds while you move it, you know. And a weird thing about sentry gun health when you're moving is that if your sentry takes damage when you've picked it up and it's building, you can repair that damage. But if you do it if your gun gets hit and then you move it, you can't. So that health will stay like that until it's level 3, and that's actually something you should consider. And then of course, if it's building from level 1 to level 2, you can actually equip your Wrangler so it brings out the shield. That's also a really good tactic to do that. I know a lot of people do it, and I do it certainly. But when your gun goes down, what I try and do is just plant a level 1 and then, you know, go find that spy, for example, you know, just so it can start kind of building up a defense again, so it can just start shooting people and, you know, deter people from coming in again. The spy's actually doing work, and that's why the dispenser on the stairs is so important. It just means you can have an Iron Man defense so well. Whenever you're just have a level 1 gun, try and just, if a sniper's aiming at it, and fully charged, you should wrangle, just because a sentry gun on level 1 has 150 HP, and it'll just one-shot it, but if you equip the wrangler you won't, so that's something you should look out for. If it's level 2 it will survive it, but it'll be very weak. The difference between level 1 and level 2 sentries is so big in terms of damage, because it actually doubles like the DPM of a sentry gun. The difference between level 2 and 3 isn't much because it's just rockets and more health, but the difference between level 1 and level 2 isn't really important. Just trying to get that level 2 up there is so key. And see, this is a good example of a soldier just spamming down my gun and me trying to use the rescue ranger. It just means I can be from a safe distance and repair my gun. And a lot of times I do is I build a gun in safety and then bring it out, because it just means that it'll build faster, and it'll just be, you know, it'll be easier to keep it up, you know, because I can start repairing it immediately and stuff. It's much better than just building out in the open. Engineer's a pretty fun class. It's not what people tell it is, you know, it's not just follow a meta and repair buildings, you know, it is genuinely a really fun class. So if you can, you know, try it out, you know, the higher div you go, the more fun it is, you know, because your teammates become better and everything else gets better. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later.